Well, hello everybody. It is March 16th, 2020, and we are in a place called
Semporna in Sabah,
Malaysia, and we are at a place called the Blue Ocean
Lodge.
Yeah, so it's a kind of a dive center slash lodge, and we are sitting in the dining room, which is completely empty, and that's because they have 23 rooms here, I think, and only 2 or 3 of them are booked.
We think that this is gonna be important for us to have this kind of updates from us. So this is an interruption from our flow of the vlog, and this is definitely not what you've seen before, in the past. But as you probably know, we are in chaos, I guess, worldwide due to coronavirus.
We left at the end of January, and for us, coronavirus was no more than kind of a whisper, maybe a little louder than a whisper, out of Wuhan, China. So we didn't even really think about it. Actually, we just got on our plane and left.
Right, but now, had we known, obviously we're not gonna be on the road, but we already 2 months down the road and not sure how to react right now.
Yeah, I don't know if we're in chaos because we don't have it nearly as bad as most other people do who are, being affected by coronavirus, but it has affected us quite a little bit because we don't know what to do. We're not sick at all. We're fine. And in this place, there's nobody here, so we probably will be fine for a while. Yeah. But we've come up against a few travel restrictions, I guess, or we think we will anyway.
So first off, you're probably aware that if you are on the road, countries start locking down and start to prohibit visitors to come across their borders. Yeah. And that's a big factor on our plan.
Yeah, and what the biggest factor is, we don't know. And I gotta stop touching my face. I wash my hand. I wash my hands about 20 times a day. I'm not kidding about that. I am always washing my hands, but I have this habit of doing this all the time, and I don't know why. But yes, we're in Malaysia. Malaysia hasn't closed its borders yet. Indonesia hasn't closed its borders yet. Thailand hasn't completely closed its borders yet. But we have no idea what's going to happen.
I think the latest one that we heard is Singapore start closing the door as tonight, midnight, and you wake up in the morning and then read other things that more and more bizarre around the world.
Yeah, I gotta stay off Twitter.
That's crazy. How does it affect our plans so far and our traveling around, Southeast Asia at the moment?
For me, I need to be in Jakarta for my flight back to Atlanta through Doha on Qatar Airways on April 5th. So that's obviously about 2.5 weeks away. And today, if I did it, I could do it because Indonesia's not closed, but we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, 3 days from now, and we especially don't know what's going to happen 2.5 weeks from now. So we're trying to figure out whether I stay in Malaysia the whole time because my visa's good here for 90 days. I'm going to have no issues with that. If we stay in Malaysia for that long, Halef's visa here expires on April 3rd. What does he do?
Yeah.
What do we do if all the borders are closed and we can't leave? Are we overstaying a visa?
Yeah, that's so many different things. And Qatar just closed down their borders too, actually. So
so you can't go out even if you go to Qatar.
So there's so many things going on around the world, and then we notice also a lot of things locally, which actually I'm sure that's devastating the tourism industry. And we just spent 2 weeks in Kota Kinabalu, and everybody told us how quiet it is.
Yeah, one of our restaurants that we went to was quite a famous restaurant in Kota Kinabalu, and she said that her restaurant was down by about 50%. That's because all the Chinese and Korean tourists aren't coming, and that's the biggest source of income for those people. So it's devastating.
And we've been walking around now in our second city here in Sabah, and it is quiet. You definitely see a lot of closed restaurants, a lot of closed attractions,
empty malls,
and
dive boats that are just tied up,
parking and for days. And we've been talking to a lot of Grab drivers, and they voice out some concerns and some surprises that we are still traveling here in Sabah because it has been dead since maybe early February.
Yeah, Grab is the Indonesian and Malaysian and Southeast Asian version of Uber.
And we walked to a few tourist industry, and they offer us big discounts, desperately try to get our businesses.
The ones that are still open.
It breaks our heart because we cannot.
I would love to have $1 million in my pocket right now just to spread
help them out. You're right, but it is absolutely heartbreaking to see and to hear what's happening around the world.
Yeah, there's people that we saw today in one of the most heavily touristed areas of Semporna, and it's just all locals. They're just sitting there waiting for anybody to come and drop a few ringgits. And they're not going to. It's not going to happen.
And I'm not trying to be negative about this, but I think this is just the beginning of
the problems.
The problem, and the worst is gonna come. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm completely wrong this time. But you know,
You're
just
not.
So hopefully it will get better, I guess, as a world. So how are we getting ready?
Well, we don't have coronavirus yet, but I think that I think that we're expecting to, not because of where we are, because as far as social distancing goes, we're pretty social distanced here. But we went to a drugstore the other day, a pharmacy, and we bought a bunch of Tylenol, acetaminophen or paracetamol, and we bought some Clorox wipes.
Yep.
And some, what do they call it, expectorant, so if you get a lung infection or something like that. And that's just something we were told, we found out online. We had bought ibuprofen, and we learned that ibuprofen can exacerbate coronavirus, so we've got it, but we're not going to use it for that. So we're just expecting that we might get it and hoping that we don't.
But I would rather be ready than sorry, but
yeah, you don't want to be going into the drugstores and the pharmacies when there's a run on all this stuff.
Right, and when you start having problems.
Lots of toilet paper here, though. No runs on toilet paper.
No runs
in
on
Malaysia.
toilet paper, right? And we've been washing our hands every single chance we got.
My hands are dried out. They've been washed so much.
Hand sanitizer, and then you do the 20 seconds happy birthday method of washing your hands.
These are the cleanest hands in the world.
This is hopefully
going to end soon.
Going to end soon, because it is absolutely devastating.
Yeah. And then, we think about, what's it going to be like when we get home. We've seen the pictures of the airports in the United States, and that is a whole cluster, what. No social distancing there. The pictures are just incredible how it's being mismanaged over there. So do we even want to go home? But we're sort of keeping our travel plans the same for the time being, and hopefully we won't have to change them. I kind of feel bad because we're saying, it almost sounds like woe is us. We're really well aware just by reading Twitter, Facebook, seeing the news, that we're in pretty good shape compared to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think soon enough, unfortunately, a lot of countries in Southeast Asia are going to clamp down and do a lockdown here. And I guess we'll keep you updated. Unfortunately,
we may make another one of these videos in a few days and interrupt the flow of our vlog again, just to let you know how things are. If one of us does get it, we'll let you know. I think we're pretty resigned to the fact that if one of us gets it, we're both going to get it because we're in the same room, we're travel together all the time.
And it is funny because a lot of times we have been sitting down and really kind of thinking through or try to plan, but it's almost impossible to say what's going to happen tomorrow or next week.
My nose is itchy for some reason.
Stop touching it.
It just gets. Normally you can edit this shit out, and I just can't stop itching my nose right now.
Try not to read a lot about this online, but it's almost impossible to not paying attention on this.
But that's where we are. We're sort of hunkered down, but it's easy for us to hunker down because there's no one here anyway. We're washing our hands. We're social distancing by default because we really don't have anybody here to not social distance from.
We're wiping everything off, not try to touch random things.
Except for each other.
Yeah, poking him is fine. We do our best to not to get it really, and even worse, transferring it to some other people. But we promise that we will keep you updated. I think just a good experience in terms of reporting it from this part of the world.
Yeah, and so we upload a vlog all the time, but the more personal stuff is sometimes on Facebook. So you just go to facebook.com/thertwguys, and of course Instagram.com/thertwguys. I'm on Twitter all the time, so twitter.com/thertwguys. I will almost be real time in it there. So
yeah, I think that's it from Semporna in Sabah, and hopefully this is
the worst news we can give you.
Absolutely. So Thank you for watching and good night.